Start with the view, guys. Deal with it. Now, about okay, I can maybe make this go up higher. Oh, that's fine. Hi, guys. Now, start with the view. Deal with it. About I don't know, past couple years now. I said if I won the lottery, I'd do this. Now, I'm using my tablet, my new tablet, and I'm using my TV tray to do this. I had okay. Now, for a couple years now, even since I moved to TR, or where technically where I live, Lockport, I always wanted to own a drive-in movie theater. The thing is, though, I don't have a car, so can't have one. Well, technically, I could have one in my property. It's just that maybe 3 cars could fit, and that would be it. I mean, my garage would be a good sized screen. It'd be more of an outdoor thing, but the thing is, though, a drive-in movie. That's pretty cool to have. The thing is, though, there's like maybe I don't know, like what 10 left in the state of Michigan or less than that. I mean, even with this thing, even with the what thing I can't say on my channel due to legal reasons, a lot of people do agree with me that it would be nice to have a drive-in movie around here. The problem is the nearest one is in Dowagiac or Coldwater, Michigan, which is either way a long drive. I mean, that's a long drive to go see a drive-in movie. I mean, yeah, you see two movies for the same price you see maybe one at the studio at an indoor. Thing is, I always loved the drive-in. I mean, it was good. I mean, the rumor. I mean, how the first driving started was a rumor that I overheard a few years ago, which eventually I found the rumor was true. The person who invented the drive-in theater, okay, his wife didn't like the way I mean, back then I understand. Back then the old-fashioned seats, she could not fit comfortably in a studio seat because she was a little bit big like I was. According to records, the first drive-in movie, okay, was in Camden, New Jersey, back in the early 30s. $1 for a carload. Now today it's 25 bucks. Or your admission price would have been 1/4. 1/4. Okay? And you know what? Not I mean from the 30s all the way up to I'd say the mid 70s, you could listen to the music all the way through the pole. And I heard about the late 70s, some places when they started adding radios. But some drive-ins, to my knowledge, still have the old speaker you put on there. I mean, to my knowledge, there was the drive-in in Dowagiac. I mean, I was there until I don't know mid 2000s. They still had the poles. They still had the pole. They still had the speakers in the poles. Those speakers were used from the 30s up to the mid 70s. I think. I mean, a lot of drive-ins got rid of them. I mean, I know the Capri and Core doesn't have them anymore. They have a couple of them, but they put them on. But they use the poles where you have to sit. Now, the thing is, the Capri was a nice place to go back then. I mean, still, I haven't been to the Capri in about 2 years. I haven't been to the Capri until I don't know 2017, 2018. I think 2018. I don't remember. I have to look at my. You have to look at my playlist under rare category. You'll see some footage of the Capri Drive-In. I seen Incredibles 2 in their movie. Now, I can name a few movies I've seen at the Capri, and those movies were this. I saw Mulan there, the original one from 1999. I saw Charlie. Okay, that one I saw at the 5 Mile. And you watch it. At the Capri. Charlie Chocolate Factory. Okay. I saw Hunger Games there. Fast Five there. I mean, and Twilight, which I'm not really a fan of Twilight. Seen that there. Seen the last Shrek movie there. Seen Talladega Nights there. Now I have seen Talladega Nights at the Capri like 4 or 5 times already. Okay, I consider that I've seen that 4 or 5 times at the Capri. More times than I like to remember. I have seen Talladega Nights a lot of times at the Capri, and yeah, which the Capri was a nice drive-in, 2 screens, but Michigan, okay, holds the world record for the biggest drive-in in the U.S. We currently have a drive-in on the east side of the state called the Wyoming Ford that has like 8 screens. 8 screens. Now I have seen a drive-in before that had 3 screens, but never went there. It was too far to go. The only drive-in I ever went to that had 2 screens was the Capri in Coldwater. The thing was though, they actually had. I mean, the drive-ins had the hard. I mean, the hardest thing that happened though is when we went digital. The drive-ins had a hard time keeping up. I mean, those digital projectors aren't cheap. They're very, very expensive. I mean, people don't know that. I mean, Toyota actually put a big load of money in to help some drive-in movies buy the projectors. I do know the one in Porridge, Indiana. No, sorry, I know the one in Plymouth, Indiana. had trouble buying them. He only got, and those things are expensive. And we got here, the theater takes 20% of your profit. I heard, which sucks, or more profit. I guess a few years ago, the Plymouth Drive in Indiana had problems getting the projectors. I mean, those projectors weren't cheap. I actually remember someone telling me they paid about 6, 7 figures for one projector. Yeah, which sucks. I mean, I haven't been to Capri in about 2 years. I've been to the Capri about since 2018, I think, or was it 2018? And trust me, I remember going there. YouTube, Magic Johnson Theater. Now, back then there used to be 5,000 drive-ins in the U.S. Now there's like, I don't know, a couple hundred, maybe just under 200 drive-ins, 200, 300 drive-ins now, as recent records. So, the thing is though, drive-in movie theaters should have not. I mean, back then, I know for example in Michigan we had over. I mean, it sucks though because back in Michigan, we had about 200 drive-ins in Michigan back in 1958. Watch those guys in a minute. But yeah, back in Michigan, I say back in '58 in Michigan there was over almost 200 drive-ins. 1988, I don't remember. But this is the real kicker, which is real sad. Okay, there is only one drive-in left in New Jersey, and the worst part is it's not the drive-in; it should have been opened. The Camden, New Jersey drive-in, whatever it was called back then, was gone, shut down years ago. There was in 1988 there was none left. Recently, according to what I found out, there was one. Someone had told me there's one drive-in left, Tyler, open still. I looked it up, found out there's one left open still. The problem is, it's not in Camden, New Jersey, which sucks because the first drive-in was in Camden. The Camden, New Jersey drive-in should have stayed open. Now, the drive-in movie theater's been around for what now? 80 plus years now? I mean, back in 1930s, June 6, 1930s, the first drive-in reopened up in Camden, New Jersey, USA. And that's surprising. I mean, the reports that there's some drive-ins that can only hold like 50 cars. There's some drive-ins that can hold up to 3,000 plus cars. But those records were back in the 50s. I mean, there's one drive-in, it's the world's smallest drive-in. I mean, according to America, the smallest drive-ins that most people go to only hold about 50 cars. The biggest drive-in known record could hold about 3,000 cars, and that was on the east side. It was in Detroit or Texas, somewhere around there. Oh, this is a kicker. Dallas-Fort Worth had about 10 drive-ins back in the day. Now they have like 2. Which still is about bad. There's actually one in Las Vegas, Nevada. A colleague told me, which is pretty neat. But think of it though. Drive-in movie theaters, they're dying off, but not really. There's a place I know in Holland that does some of the stuff, which I'm not going to Holland anytime soon. There used to be one in Niles, Michigan. It's still there. It's now called a Walmart. There's a drive-in called the M60 in Minden, Michigan. It's still there. It just doesn't get used anymore. And this is where the screen's still there. The snack bar is still there. The thing where you bought the tickets through. It's all still there. And when you look at where the ticket booth was, you can think probably how far that fence had to go to stuff. But some places still like drive-ins. Like me, I love the drive-in. You see 2 movies the price of one because a movie now costs you like $7-8 at the indoor theater. I can go to the Capri right now and watch 2 movies for like $10. I have to go to the website later to see how much it actually goes now. But they're cash only. So yes, drive-ins are awesome. And I'm telling you, I had to look it up and see how drive-ins were in Michigan one time, but there is one drive-in that has reopened recently in the past few years. There's one drive-in that has reopened, and it's a historical drive-in. But it's not called a drive-in, it's called a park-in theater, which is weird. Now, this video I'm going to show you guys right now is the Park-In Theater. Right behind me, right here. This Park-In Theater right here just reopened recently, a couple years ago. This theater is famous, though, because the sign is the actual theater. The clock still worked, but everything else was overgrown and stuff. Thing is, though, this theater had Elvis Presley's Jealous Rock playing. I don't know if you can read that or if it's too blurry. But yeah, the best theater, there's actually more theaters on Route 6  still open than it should be. I mean, There's over a lot of theaters here in Michigan that are still around, but closed. I mean, there's a theater near a casino, still up, but I think it wasn't open. I think it was closed, and it was Marquette, Michigan, which I've been to the Upper Peninsula tons of times. It's fun being in the Upper Peninsula. Sorry, I was having a sucker. The thing is, though, Michigan is one of the best states. I mean, I do remember seeing the Mommy at drive-in, but it wasn't at Dewajek and it wasn't at the Capri. It was some drive-in somewhere in Indiana. Where? I'm not really sure. But the drive-in movie was one of the best places to go to. I mean, actually, I remember listening to an interview on the radio about the Capri. Do they still put people in the trunk of their cars when they come to the drive-in? The question to that was yes, which, not to my knowledge, never happened. I only seen it one time, and it was in Greece and maybe NASCAR, but never, ever seen that happen before in real life. But I mean, still, local radio station goes there every week, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have suggestions, I would love to hear them.